Right, let us get ourselves organized here first. We need to share out a link for the members on MyGamesteam's Discord channel. So let me just copy and paste this in first. Where is the copy link? And then we'll just paste that in. There we go. So my friends, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is safe and well. So my friends, what do I have for you today? We do have audio and video. We're doing very, very well today, my friends. So yeah, MyGamesteam has been hard at work on the latest build of the Fent Katana, which is a it is a base game forage harvester that has been very, very heavily modified in Blender Giants editor, creating a lot of new assets. A lot of work has been done in it. I'm sure you guys have seen the previous installments, the updates videos that I've been doing. But we're going to take a look at the latest build, which is from today. So I guess we'll just show off kind of the main thing, kind of the big thing in the latest build of the katana here. So this is the MyGamesteam version of the Fent Katana 850, which is a forage harvester, obviously. 847 horsepower. The specifications are identical to the real-world Fent Katana. So, for example, my friends, if I hop in the vehicle here, you can see that the silage additive capacity is set at 215 litres, which is representative of the real-world vehicle. So, I'm going to show you and demonstrate the latest big ticket item, I guess, that has been built by MyGamesteam in Blender. This was designed from scratch. This, my friends, is based on a real-world piece of equipment. It is a real-world option that Fent have. You can purchase, when you purchase the harvester, you can purchase an additional item which is called the Polispec NIR sensor. This is manufactured by a company, an Italian company called IT Photonics. MyGamesteam has designed and built this piece of equipment here from scratch in Blender, and we do have evidence to prove same. So let me give you kind of a background to what this is. What does it do? What's its purpose? So in the real world, my friends, contractors or farmers, they would purchase this sensor. It's roughly about 4,000 euros to purchase this thing. What they do is they cut a hole in the auger pipe here, okay, and then they put this sensor on top. At the bottom of the sensor, there is a called a near infrared sensor. And basically, it sends an infrared beam down into the hole, into the pipe. And basically, when the forage material that's been harvested is flowing through the pipe here, it takes some measurements. Sir Mouse, how are you, sir? How are things? Thank you for tuning in, my friend. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, sir. So yeah, as the chopped forage material is passing through the pipe, it takes readings. It sends that data then back to the internal terminal or monitor. It monitors the moisture level of the chopped material. It can also analyze other factors such as nitrogen levels. Basically, what they would do with this is they would use it as a kind of a tool to help increase yield, or get more data about it's used in precision farming basically. So much like precision farming has a soil map, you know, they can use the data to map, you know, the field. You know what I mean? For you know, the kind of the quality of the forage material, the density of the material. You know, so it is it is based on a real world thing. They estimate anywhere between, depending on you know the you can have a basically you can improve your yield up to maybe 5% using this particular crop sensor. That's in the real world, right? So MyGamesteam has built and designed this crops you know, this sensor in Blender, right? Now it is essentially a shop option in game. So if I go into the shop here, you have a you have the NIR sensor. Okay, you have no or Polispec. So there's a brand DDS file associated with the option. You have no or Polispec, right? So 4,000 euros. Okay, so that's kind of just the shop option. Now what we're trying to do is, and we have more work to do. Basically, we're trying to see, can we build in-game functionality with this particular piece of equipment, right? So the idea would be that if you purchase the NIR sensor, right, and basically what it would do is it would decrease the amount of silage additive you use in game by 10%. That's kind of the idea of it. So there would be a real world in-game benefit to actually purchasing the sensor. So we are trying to find a way to build that into the mod. We've done a couple of tests and that type of thing using the XML. So, you know, the XML basically has fill units. You know, you have a fill unit for diesel, you have a fill unit for def or AdBlue, you have a fill unit for silage, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to manipulate the XML and the game engine to see will it recognize a you know, a new or different fill type. So far our tests have been unsuccessful, but we're going to try and, you know, keep at it. It may be that we may have to create a Lua script, something custom, to get this to work. Someone has suggested there is a mod on the mod hub. It's a script mod for PC called Bushel Plus. It's from BC Bueller Farms. Now I've not used it. I don't know anything about the script, but it has been suggested that it could be possible to edit that particular Lua script and the mod to maybe to get this to work. But for right now, you know, we're just kind of researching and seeing what's possible. So yeah, this is a you know, it's you know, the position on the pipe here is reflective of the real world, you know, the real world placement on the Fenn Katana. But we have done more work than that, obviously. So the Katana here is still a work in progress. You know, we are adding things as we go along, and the mod will continue to evolve. So one of the latest things that we've done with the mod is we've kind of enhanced the sound scheme for the IC animations here. And I'll give you an example. So you might hear there, my friends, there's a little kind of a squelching sound. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to replicate, you know, when you open up a metallic door, you know, there's usually kind of a squealing sound associated with that. We're trying to replicate that in this mod. Now this is not final, you know, but this is kind of where we are at the moment. Okay, so internally here you have your toolbox. That is non-functional, non-movable. It's a static object. On the opposite side, you have a def canister in here for your AdBlue, and you have a wrench thingy for the, you know, the bolts on the wheels. If you've got a flat tire and you need to change the wheel. So we close the doors. We've added an additional sound to the larger panels here. So there's a different sound associated with that now. And we have replicated the same kind of sound for all 5 panels. Okay. So once again, my friends, once you open the large left side panel here, the internal cabin lighting will illuminate. I'll give you a practical demonstration of that. So here's your internal cabin lighting. There are 2 lights inside here. So your cabin is illuminated at nighttime. Because, you know, maintenance. Once again, this is based on the real world Fen Katana. This is a thing, you know, for maintenance purposes. It's independent of your main lights. Alright. So in order to deactivate the lights, the internal cabin lights, you would obviously put down the panel here and the light will turn off. And you can see that demonstrated there. And the light will turn on. So that's kind of that. Alright, so we'll go back to the daytime again. So we have added more new items to the 3D model. We have added some new decals to the mod that are not, they're not part of the original, 3D model by Giants. So there's a decal down here. There's another 4 set of decals up here. These are all based on the real world Fen Katana. We have pictures and stuff. Internally, we have more decals inside. Decals here. Decals here. There's a decal on this piece up here. We've added more 3D model elements to the interior as well. So the interior here is much more accurate. So see this thing here, this grey piece, right? So basically, MyGamesteam, this is the next thing that we're going to be doing. MyGamesteam is going to delete this, cut it out, right? And we're going to replace it with the, for grease, no, I don't know if there's something representative of that. I don't know if there's a trailer with a grease on it. There may be, I'm not sure. But basically, maybe one of the telehandlers has it. The grease SKF. I'm not sure. But anyways, we're going to be working on the on more of the kind of the internal parts of the mod. So it is the kind of a work in progress. It is, evolving and developing all the time. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I'll show you this. So you have this thing here, right? So this is a base game asset here. See this thing here, look? So this is kind of like a glass, right? So basically this is for your grease for your engine, all right? So it's going to be something like this, right? But it's going to be larger. So we're going to be replacing that grey kind of cylinder piece there and replacing with kind of a grease thing. We've also added some oil filters inside here as well. These are representative of the real world Katana. I don't know if you can see it, but they are there. I can get up there, that is. So there's a couple of oil filters internally. These are from NIR. Right? So MyGamesteam has designed these. So you can kind of see them inside there. They are brand new added, and there's a decal attached to them, as I said, for the NIR. We've done more work on the so all these animated pieces have all kind of individual colors now. So all the pulleys are, they all have slightly different colors and that type of thing. It's another decal on the back here, as you can see. We'll be adding more decals to the frame here as well, white decals. So we're doing our very best to make the the internal engine and the 3D model much more accurate to the real world vehicle. So in cab, once again, You can have IC functionality. You can put down your steering column. You can open the door. Up here you have your internal cabin lighting. Okay, so that turns on. There's two lights, one here, one here. Okay, that's newly added. So once again, we have added the new elements here for the radio and the air conditioning system. So that internal clock there displays real world time. And then you have 16.2 Celsius for the air conditioning interior. So once again, there is more work to do on the interior of the mod here. We'll be changing that decal there, putting another decal over here. And once again, I'm hoping to maybe this storage compartment will be have a functionality where you'll be able to open it by a simple IC. We're going to be doing work on the mirrors. So the external mirrors are going to get their the image quality will be improved, which will also help when you're in cab as well, because the mirrors will look a lot better quality. Once again, you have your internal engine fan that is spinning. You have your animated parts here, your belts and pulleys that are all animated and spinning. So MyGamesteam took all these apart in Blender, added animations to them. So you have 16 animated pulleys and 3 animated belts. You have your animated fan here. And there's a mesh behind that as well for air filtration. There are more animated pieces here. There's a belt here and pulleys that are animated on this section here. So there's quite a lot of moving parts now to the mod, and the mod continues to improve and evolve as we go along. No idea when this mod will be publicly available or anything. There is still quite a bit of work to do. We're going to be doing so this section here. We have ideas to kind of enhance and improve this section here with chrome pipe work and that type of thing, to kind of get more of a representation of the real world vehicle. There's a hose, a tube here. We'll be changing this to kind of reflect the real world vehicle. There is another hose internally that we're going to be adjusting as well. This tube here, see this tube along here? Going to be changing that as well. So there's a lot of work still to do on the mod. So once again, you have your new animation sounds for the folding and unfolding of the pipe here. So that varies from the base game forage harvester. So this is the base game Giants harvester. Obviously, with the Giants mod, there is no way to access the internal engine. It's all closed up and everything. You can kind of see the engine that the Giants put inside, but you can't. You can't do anything with it. So that's kind of the major difference between, we'll say, the Giants mod and this mod. Is that you have all these animated doors, and the interior of the engine is being worked on and improved. So I guess what we could do here is we can give you kind of a practical demonstration of the forage harvester. So we have a Fendt, we have the Kaweco, the forage trailer, I guess you call it. So the pipe will come out. Obviously there's a little bit of crop destruction here. This is probably a bad idea from me. I should probably turn traffic off. Because it's a bit stupid having it on. Let's try that again. Get on the right side of the bloody harvester. There we go. This is a bad idea here. So what's he going to do? He's going to go to the bottom? Yeah, he is. Oh shit! God damn it, dude! Take it easy, my... What the hell? Drive straight, dude. Come on. Holy Toledo. Okay. Woo! Yeah, it's been a while since I've done any actual bloody farming, though. So my skills are not the best, I think. We have a couple of bunker silos over there set up, so we can, you know, chaff. I might actually put a trailer on the back of this and see what happens. I haven't actually tried that yet. Is he waiting for me? There we go. So I think what we'll do is we'll fill up maybe one trailer with, you know, just manually doing it. And then I'm going to try and hook a trailer up to the back of this thing. See how it behaves. So yeah, we got the obviously we got the Hay and Forge DLC this week. I don't know if you guys are aware, but apparently someone has the bloody Russians have hacked the Hay and Forge DLC. Yeah, it's out there, my friends. It is out there. Obviously, I won't be giving you any details of where you can find it or anything, but it is out there. I have taken a look for, you know, research purposes. There's some very interesting things, you know, inside the zip file, you know, in terms of modders, you know, for assets and that type of thing. So yeah, I think this is going to be, you know, once it's complete, it's going to be a really, really high quality mod, you know. This is very much for a, you know, a PC mod, you know, with all the, you know, the simple IC and that type of thing, you know. It definitely will not be coming to console, I can assure you that. Yeah, so we have I know there's a mod on the mod hub for automatic pipe, where you can manually adjust the pipe and that type of thing. I had installed that mod and installed a script on the Katana 850 here. I didn't like it, you know. I kind of preferred the whole automatic pipe stuff. But you know, that might be something I maybe consider. I'm not sure. I don't remember if it's a shop option or not. If it's a shop option, I may actually install it. We'll see. So the header here is the 7.5 meter Kemper. It's the Kemper's. No, sorry, it's a 6 meter Kemper. So you know the katana here, you know, it is based on the base game giant, you know, the Katana 650. So it functions and operates exactly as one would expect it to. There we go, we're full up. So he's obviously going to wait now. So I do like these NH Agri. How are you, sir? How are things? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I do like these bunkers with the rear wall, because it means that you can back in and you know, get your chaff, you know, perfectly aligned up and that type of thing. You know, you can stick it against the back wall. So I would do something like that. Mouse, do you know if they have Giants, you know the way chaff comes out the back of the wall, Mouse? Do you know if Giants have fixed that or not? Davies Farming, how are you? How are things? Thank you for tuning in, appreciate that. Do you know, Mouse, if they've fixed the back wall stuff? You know where chaff was coming out the back of the wall? Let's see if they've actually fixed that. That looks okay. And I backed right up to the back, so hopefully they've actually fixed that issue. Now I guess the next thing I should probably do is I should test. Let me put the trailer on the back of the harvester and see what happens. See if this make any difference. I do like the fact that there's a hitch on the back of this thing. Oh, wait, hey! What the hell? Calm down, dude, calm down. Not doing too bad now, Davies. Not doing too bad. We are doing kind of a beta test on the latest build of the Fendt Katana here. So this is an upcoming mod from MyGamesteam. We have a brand new element. This is the Polispec, the NIR sensor. There is actually a fan in here, and that fan actually spins. It's animated. So if I turn on the engine here, I can maybe demonstrate that the fan does actually spin. So yeah, there's an internal fan, and that will spin and that type of thing. Now let me. Oh, what the hell? Oh shit! It's been a while since I've the case tractor. I'm afraid not. It's you know, it's a PC only mod. The poly count on that mod is very, very high. You know, it just wouldn't be possible. Giants would reject it, basically. You know. Now this is very, very handy. I like the fact that I can put a trailer on the back of this. But can I hire a worker in this scenario? I can't. Look. That is cool. Right, so this is the base game Katana. So we had to do a lot of work to try and reduce the poly count. So what we did was with the case tractor, for example, it's an extremely high poly count 3D model, you know. So we had to load in a lot of you know, i3D elements to kind of reduce the poly count on this thing, but it's very, very detailed. So yeah, even though we you know, dynamically loaded in a substantial amount of parts into the mod, the poly count is still 300,000 polys on the main, you know, the main i3D, whereas Giants only allow 250,000. You know, so it's over what Giants would allow in terms of poly count. Where is that trailer? Oh shit. Oh, hold on a second. That's... I'm not doing that right, am I? No. Oh, god damn it. Okay, I'll wait for him to turn around. And see, can I get this to work? If I go to the opposite side of this guy. So I should be able to do this, right? There we go. So that's kind of one way you can do that way, you know. Now he's probably gonna miss the next row. Well, it's only 6 meters wide, so as you can see in this the base game Giants mod, the depth capacity is only set to 20 liters. So that's not real world accurate. Yeah, I've got the horse sprayer. Got that as well. So I'll put that down again. There we go. So that horse sprayer is still a work in progress. There's a lot of work to do. So, you know, MyGamesteam, you know, I want him to kind of focus on the Katana first, and then once the Katana 850 is out in public, you know, I'll ask him to take... Oh, we're full. I'll ask him to take a look at the... oh shit! Crop destruction. Take a look at the horse sprayer, the horse sleeve. It's a self-propelled sprayer, 36 meters, from the horse aggravation pack from FS17, and ported to 19. So it's a Giants mod. So this is kind of the way I like to do my bunkers. You know, I go right to the back. I need to unload here. Oh. So I like to go right to the back and get it right up against the wall if I can. And just let it unload and just pile it up. And then of course you just keep moving forward and forward, you know, with the chaff, you know. So we'll put that down again. So this is what it looks like internally. Okay. So you have your in-game, so this is your clock with an in-game time. MyGamesteam is a modder. I have seen he's made Lamborghinis and Mercedes, and yeah, he's got over like 200 mods, and he's converted a lot of them from 19 to 22. He also has a Patreon, and basically the Patreon gives people access to exclusive mods that are not available anywhere else. So he's got a tractor, an exclusive tractor. It's called the Fence Xylon. It's kind of an older style tractor. You can see previous videos on my channel where I've actually, you know, showed it off and that type of thing. So yeah, he has other mods as well that are exclusive to his Patreon. So the reason he runs his Patreon is to so he has a website. He's trying to avoid running adverts on that website, and so the adverts or the Patreon mods, they help fund the running of the website and the server costs and the hosting costs and that type of thing. So that's what the Patreon is. So that's mods.mygamesteam.com. Suppose I could give you a quick look at the horse leap here. So once again, this is a mod from Farming Simulator 17. It was also available in 19. So this is part of the horse aggravation pack, which is a Giants mod. So I've been doing work on this myself, adding things to it and that type of thing, bringing it up to FS22 standards. There's still a lot of things to do with it, so I've added new wheel options like Michelin and Bridgestone, and I've got some narrow wheel options and that type of thing. Beacons, so I've added options so you can select the left, right, and both beacons. So this kind of varies from the Giants version. I added a second beacon light. Speed sign, so this thing goes 60 kilometers per hour or 37 mph. So it's a 60 kph sign on the back. GPS. So I added a second terminal in cab here. This is a horse terminal. Right. So when you turn on and turn off the, they come on and that type of thing. So I've been working on this slowly but surely. It is a self-propelled sprayer. 5,000 liters. She's a speedy boy at 60 kph. The working speed of this thing is 12 mph or 20 kph. Front wheel steering, all-wheel steering. The all-wheel steering is a little bit dodgy. It needs some adjustments because she very easily will tip over, as you can see, look. So if I go to full speed, she will absolutely tip over, right? So if I take it hard, so it needs some adjustment in terms of the wheel physics. Yeah, unfortunately, the reason for that is Giants don't have the license for Lamborghini, obviously. Well, they do, but not. They have maybe a license for Lamborghini tractors, but they don't have a license for Lamborghini cars. Like supercars or anything. And from Giants' perspective, how is that related to farming? I mean, there are various, cars and that type of thing, but I don't know. I'm not sure what Giants would think about having a Lamborghini supercar. So you can see there, look, that is actually working, spraying the field there. So there's still a lot of stuff to do on this mod. She is not even close to the prime time or being ready or anything. There's a lot of stuff, I want to bring it up to proper FS22 standards. But she is nice, it's all kind of there really, you know what I mean? So what I would like to do is, you have this this part here, see the black pieces? So these are non-transparent, right? So if you look at the Bourgeois one, let me show you the Bourgeois. So the Bourgeois has a transparent mesh where you can actually see the interior of the engine. and it has all various, you know, sounds and animation sounds. So whereas the leab here, you can't see inside in the engine interior, so I want to remove this in Blender and make it transparent mesh, have an engine inside. Yeah, it's a very nice mod, you know. It's quite detailed, you know. There is a lot of potential. So what I would do is I would make this precision farming ready, and you know, the way the so this one has a variable. See the way it has variable working with. Look, right. So I would add all of that stuff to the leap, make it precision farming ready, variable width. You know, all the bells and whistles that one would expect, and bring it up to, you know, FS22 standards. But yeah, it's a very nice mod. I added license plates to this, so there's a license plate at the back. There's a license plate at the front as well. So, you know, I've done my best within my skill level, as it were, to bring it as far as I can, you know. So what you're seeing here is kind of the as far as I can bring it currently, you know. It needs to be passed on to somebody else or MyGamesteam to you know, to kind of realize it further, as it were. Right, we have a full thingy here. So have you I don't think so, Tony. It looks pretty good to me. I don't see any missed spots. What do you think, Mouse? Do you see anything amiss there? No crashes so far, which is very impressive for me, considering my lack of farming. I don't do much farming these days, my friends. It's kind of more of the modding side of things. I need to select the thingy. So what I would try and do is... Pebbles! How are you? How are things? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, Pebbles. So yeah, we are... you know, we don't get much in-game farming time anymore, I'm afraid. Put that on a worker again, and we can do the other guy, put him on the opposite side maybe, although we'll have to wait until, hold on a second, let's screw that up. I have screwed that up. So you can actually see that it is actually using the silage additive. So the silage additive tank on the real world Fenkatana is 215 liters. That there. So I do have the Hay and Forage DLC installed, as you can see here. Very nice piece of kit. I do like it a lot. And it's very, very, you know, I recommend it for people. I think it's good value, you know. Not everyone is going to agree with that, obviously, you know. So you can put nice twin wheels on this thing. You can put that there. I think we might just use it a little bit. Maybe cut a little bit of grass and then maybe use the forage harvester to pick it up. Very nice piece of kit, this thing. It drives very well. It's got the whole tilting cabin thing going on, you know. So yeah, for $10 or €10, I personally think the Hay and Forge DLC is good value. Not everyone agrees with that, obviously. Not everyone likes the fact that we have had, we have basically had 3 grass or grasswork related DLCs in a row. So we had Vermeer, we had the Go Wheel or Go Vile pack, and obviously Hay and Forge. I think maybe Giants need to, switch things up a little bit. Maybe add some actual functionality in terms of game mechanics, maybe. That would be nice. A lot of people are wanting animal husbandry to be, improved. I think that would be a good idea for them to do something like that. Improve animal husbandry. I would like them to bring back the fact that we should be able to water or give water to the animals. I know that in the real world they have these barns, these new sophisticated barns that probably have, water piped in and that type of thing, but I do think it should be maybe an option or something. Maybe a barn with and without, piped in water, that type of thing. Maybe some new sheds, maybe some open pasture animals, goats, free range goats, free range sheep and cows, so what you could do is you could have like an invisible pen, so they would walk around. It would look like they're walking around an open field, but they'd have there would be like an invisible fence where they would walk around in and that type of thing. I mean, modders have already done that, so I don't see why Giants couldn't do it. So yeah, the animal husbandry could certainly be updated. So we'll obviously know soon enough with FarmCon coming up. I think it's July, start of July. It's not too far away, 2-3 weeks, something like that. So we will obviously will get details about the big expansion in November. What new map we're getting, what new. We're getting some type of new crop type. My understanding, it's going to be carrots and parsnips. That's what little birdies tell me. We'll see how that turns out. I hope we get new branded equipment. If we are getting, carrots and parsnips, I want dedicated machinery that are designed for carrots and parsnips. And I hope to God that Giants don't use more Grimmy equipment. I want a new brand for that stuff, If there's a carrot harvester, I want something new and different from that. New brands, new equipment. So we'll just have to wait and see what kind of map we're going to be getting, Some people are speculating East European map or a Polish map or something. It's, small fields. Maybe expand upon the ideas in the forestry DLC where you maybe building barns could be an idea. I know we had the roller coaster. I know we had the boat. I don't know. I think it would be more practical for for people where they could build their own barns and that type of thing. As nice as the roller coaster was, it's got to be, you'll do it once. It was a novelty type thing. Building boats once again. I don't think Giants would approve of you catapulting sheep into the air, Tony. I'm fairly certain there are rules and regulations about firing live animals across a field, So yeah, Giants might frown upon that, sir. But yeah, I note your idea. Certainly give Giants your feedback. Tony Miff wants the ability to catapult sheep across long distances. Yeah, I mean, I haven't done the roller coaster myself yet. You know, there's a lot of stuff I haven't done in FS22. So, you know, I've never built the boat. I haven't built the roller coaster or anything like that. You know, the modding side of things has kind of taken up my time, and you know. Oh, we're full. Right, let's empty this in. So what we might do next now, we might pick up the grass here. Okay, we'll pick up the grass with a header for that. So we'll lift that header, now we'll fold the header. Oh, I added a new beeper. I added a new beeper to the it's a much better and more power. You know, it's much louder now, whereas the base one is shit. You hear the difference? See that? So it's a lot louder and that type of thing. I want to actually be able to hear the damn beep. Now I wonder what's going to happen if I fold that pipe. So there's no collision on the pipe. So that's the way Giants have designed it. You know, you have to actually have it like that. Because if there was collisions on that pipe, there would be all sorts of issues. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's not like that in the real world, but you know. But you know, obviously in the real world, the pipe would have collisions. Bex, how are you? How are things? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. We're just doing some beta testing here on the Fent Katana, which is an upcoming mod from MyGamesteam. Why isn't this unloading? Oh, I haven't selected the bloody thing, you idiot. You actually have to select the trailer. It's been a while, you know, since I've done any kind of farming. So that's how I would do it. I would, you know, stick it at the back and then move forward. So that trailer does hook up, but it raises it off the ground a little bit. So the trailer hitch here is quite high. If you notice that the front wheels are slightly lifted off the ground there, see that? That's the way Giants have designed that hitch. Now, shall we go get the no, wait a second. I need to actually use the I need to use this. So let's go back to the shop and get ourselves a header to pick up the grass from the ground. So we do have a kind of a generic dirt and wear mask on this thing at the moment. So MyGamesteam, I've asked them to create a custom V mask and a custom normal map for this, but they're not made yet, you know. So that'll be added eventually. So what I'd like to do is I want to make this sensor, this Polispec NIR sensor. I want to make this available to modders as a prefab, so they will be able to install it on other harvesters, you know, that type of thing. So MyGamesteam is kind of working on that at the moment. Yeah, so this is kind of based on the real world kind of katana. You can get the katana with the warning stripes at the side. So if you haven't seen this, Bex, let me show you this. So this is our kind of our beta build of the Katana 850 here. So you have the engine inside. So we have all the animated parts in here, look. So there are 16 belts and 3 pulleys. MyGamesteam took all these pieces apart in Blender and animated them so they all spin. He took apart all the doors, so all the panels, the back panel, took all these apart in Blender. Created piston pieces, so there's piston pieces that, see these parts here, look. So I can kind of demonstrate that. So when you close the door, there are piston pieces here, look, and they close. The internal engine has illumination. So if I go to nighttime once again, you know, for people that maybe haven't seen this before, you know. So as you can see there, look, there's the interior of the engine is illuminated, look. So this is obviously PC only. So this is a very heavily modified version of the base game Katana 650. The internal fan was separated in Blender and it now spins. See that? We've done a lot of work on this mod to kind of to make it real world accurate. So, you know, we're building pieces in as we go along. We've got more stuff in here as well. So added a lot of new decals and that type of thing, Tony. So you can actually see that belt is spinning here. Look, there's more pulleys and belts here that are spinning. So yeah, there's a lot of work to do still. You can see the internal displays here. You have the clock radio. You have the air conditioning unit. You have an IC function here for the internal cabin illumination. The door opens. You can put up and down the steering column. Eventually there's a storage box up here. This storage box will open and close via simple IC, and there will be like a flashlight or something in there. Would it be possible on console? It might be possible, Davies, if the modder was to build it in. So there is a mod hub mod on the mod hub, right? And I believe it's for console. So you know the way some mods will have, you know, opening doors, and you'll be able to do it by, you know, an Xbox controller or a PlayStation controller, and you would use your, you know, your joysticks to open and close the door. Well, you know, if they could build that in, it's certainly possible to do it on console. It is possible, but no one has done this yet, as far as I'm aware. Not on console, anyways. You have your beacon lights. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do in terms of you know, if you were to make, so the modder would have to go into Maya or Blender, right? And he'd have to separate all these panels in Blender, right? And he'd have to create animations for the opening and closing. So for example, MyGamesteam, he had to make these hinges up here, look, see these piston pieces up here? He had to build those hinges here, look, they were built. If you look in here with this one, he had to create all these pieces here in Blender for the animations and that type of thing. That again. Oh, thank you very much, Bex, appreciate that. So yeah, you know, we tried to, you know, we looked at real world videos of the Katana 850, you know, And obviously, you for maintenance purposes, you can open up all these side panels. So this is not something we made up. This is representative of the real world Fendt Katana. You know, you can actually open the panels in the real world for, you know, to maintain your vehicle and get access to the engine area. And this is what it looks like in the real world. No, it's not 100% accurate. It's an approximation. You know, you have to work within the confines of a mod and poly count and performance reasons. Yeah, we're trying to make it as accurate as possible, you know. Right, we shall get the header next. So we'll get the pickup header. So this is the Kemper. And then you put on the Fendt attachment. Put on our lights. So we have fixed the driving physics now, Tony, of the harvester here. So if I give you another example here, so this is a solid object here, this street sign. So MyGamesteam has to put collisions on all of the panels because they're not here at the moment. So if I drive up to this, so I will actually go through the panel there. Let's go back to the daytime. So you can kind of see here, look, if I drive forward, look. So basically that door there has to have a collision to make it solid. But it's not built in at the moment. So we will put in the collisions at the end of the modding process. So you can see the dirt and wear now starting to come on this, look. I like the beeper. I think the beeper's a lot better. You can actually hear the damn thing now. So how I did that was you can increase the volume in the sounds XML. We'll turn off the damn lights, I think. Kind of your internal cab view here. Dual exhausts, as you can see. It is exhaust extension enabled as well. It's also passenger seat enabled, so if you have the Kubota DLC, you will be able to have a passenger. At some point, Tony, you might hop on a multiplayer session with me so we can test out the passenger seat, make sure it's working okay. We'll probably do that maybe at the end of the modding process. Let us, I mean, you don't have to, Tony. You know. Everything is optional and voluntary. Huh? Oh, I have to unfold this. Oh, you have to see. That's how long I haven't used done any farming. You have to unfold the bloody thing. Shall we do a little bit of windrowing, my friends, since we have a little bit of grass here? Shall we get some of the new DLC and do a little bit of windrowing with the new stuff? So, I mean, I don't know. What should we use? Should we use the reform here? could put some very nice twin wheels on this thing, look. So this is part of the Hay and Forge DLC, obviously. So what wind roar should we get, my friends? We could... So this is 3.5 meters, I don't know. So this needs 160 horsepower. Do we have enough horses for this? So this is 3 meters. I want something a little bit better than that. I'm going to go with this. I think this might work. Let's see, will this actually work? Now, it is a little bit overkill. This thing, it's a little bit large for this small tractor, but we'll see how it goes. This should work though. So yeah, this is the new Hay and Forge DLC. Look, it's you can kind of see there. Look, so they have the radio, and then they have the in-game time. Look, LCD clocks and that type of thing. It's up to the usual, high quality standards that one would expect from Giant Software. They obviously have access to the CAD files and the 3D models and cooperation of the manufacturers. So it's going to look extremely high quality. Real good. I see you, sir. I see you. Hope you're doing well, sir. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. Apologies for not mentioning you sooner. Yeah, Real Good has been around for a long time now. He's been a great supporter of the channel for a very, very long time now. Back in the Lunatic Cam days, isn't that right, Real Good? You were on all the Lunatic Cam streams, and back in the day when they used to do in FS22 all the crazy farming that he used to do. So Lunatic Cam, he used to do these massive silage challenges, 10-20 million litres, and he'd just be filling bunkers up left, right and centre. He used to do these absolutely monster streams. So we do it in the middle, right? Oh yeah, you've been around since FS17 at least. Real Good. At least 17. Yeah, I kind of miss the old Lunatic Cam streams. He used to do these massive silage fests, He used to do this system. He'd do like these massive belt systems, right? So basically, the bloody belts would like cover half the map. So he'd put one belt to another belt to another belt, and he'd have 40 or 50 belts, you know what I mean? And he would just be like millions of litres of chaff, he'd be just putting through these belts. It's very impressive stuff. You don't often see people do those kind of extreme belt challenges anymore. Like in 19, I did a 10 million litre chaff challenge, to fill up, bunkers. The bunkers on Ravensport, the 2 big bunkers. So I filled those up with 10 million litres of chaff. I think maybe with the pumps and hoses DLC, I think the BGAs are a little bit overpowered now. So it's just a little bit too easy to make money with the pumps and hoses DLC. I think though that DLC needs some adjustments in terms of how much money you can make from those BGAs. They're way overpowered. Yeah. I think Farming Simulator 19 is still a good game to play. I would still play FS17. I know people have moved on. Obviously, the graphics are a lot better in 22, but you know there is still value in 19 and 17. I think for people, you know. There are still some mods in 19 that haven't been brought to 22. So yeah, these are two pieces of equipment from the Forge DLC, which is obviously available now from Giant Software and Steam and Xbox and all the usual places. For the price it costs, I think it's good value. It may not be, you know, to everyone's taste, you know. Some of this equipment you may or may not work. Maverick 74's map is 17. There was a map in 19 that was my favorite map. It was called bloody hell if I can remember the damn thing. It was a basically it was a global company map, so it had mining and construction and that type of thing in it, you know. It was my absolute favorite map in 19. I can't think of the name now at the moment. But yeah, I would love for that map to come to 22. Such a great map. I can think of the damn name. So yeah, so this wind roar thing, you can obviously you can switch it, you know. So you can do so the work mode. You can do left. So left swath puts both of these belts go to one side. You can put it to the right as well, and then you can obviously the outside, and then in the middle. So it has some good functionality in this thing. Right, we shall pick up the grass now. So yeah, this is one of the tractors, obviously from the Forge DLC. So this is obviously a new brand as well that we are getting, the Reform, and then we got the Writer, you know. Right, let's pick up this grass. So I've got to do a lot of in-game testing actually using the katana here to make sure that it's working properly, you know. And I'll be able to compare it then to the you know, the base game's 650, you know, to make sure that there's no differences. Is he going to stream tonight on a Sunday? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Or is it a Saturday? Wait, what day is? No, it's a Saturday. He actually he might. I think he might actually. Yeah, I know he's working on that the international truck or something at the moment. He's doing some modifications to it. Making his beds compatible with it or something. It's always interesting to watch his stuff because, you know, it's quite informative in terms of, you know, for educational purposes, you know, for modding, see how he does things in Maya, how he does things in Giants Editor, you know, that type of thing. So from an educational standpoint, it's very good viewing, as they say. So if there's anything you guys would like to see specifically from the new Forge DLC, let me know, and I shall demonstrate. So you have to select the wagon. So this is kind of how I do my bunkers here. I just keep pushing backwards and backwards and backwards and just fill it from the back and then move forward. So once the bunker is full, then I would come in here with a tractor and compact it, you know. Luckily enough, there's no grass coming out the back here, so it looks like Giants might have actually fixed that stuff, because that was a thing in 19 where the material come out the back of the bunker. So let me put in the pipe. We have a custom sound scheme for the pipe. Okay, so that pipe sound is different to the base game one. So in the real world, what's the difference between the 650 and the 850? Well, the physical dimensions of the vehicles in the real world are identical. The difference would be the engine. So the Katana 850 has a Liebherr engine, so that's an 847 horsepower engine. And it has dual stacks, so, you know, Fendt made modifications to the top area here. Obviously, you have to fill, you know, the second exhaust. They shortened the length of these bars here, so see these chrome bars, right? And they adjusted, see this metal grid piece here, this so they have to, you know, cut out a section to fit the, you know, the extra exhaust and that type of thing. But in terms of everything else, you know, the physical dimensions of the mod are identical, you know what I mean? The internal cab is identical, you know. So once again, we have the NIR sensor. This is based on a real world thing. It's the Polispec NIR, which is a near infrared sensor. So in the real world, you have obviously your chopped material that flows through the pipe, right? So what they would do is they cut a hole in the pipe, right? They put the sensor on top of it, you know, bolted in place. It sends an infrared signal through that hole, and it takes various measurements. So for example, the moisture content of the material, the nitrogen content, and there are other values that they can measure as well. And then that data then is sent back to the monitor in cab. You can obviously record that data, and then you can make judgments, you know, in terms of your harvesting and your fields and that type of thing. So it is actually a part of precision farming, but it's something that Giants have not actually implemented in the precision farming DLC. So, you know, I have ideas for this thing. I think this is something that Giants could implement and do, right? So as I said, our idea for the sensor is attach it to silage additive, right? So if you purchase this NIR sensor in the shop, right, what you will do is you will get you'll get an in-game bonus, right? You'll get a 10% reduction in silage additive usage, right? So that would be the incentive to purchase this. So this is 4,000, right? So it's in the shop, right? So it says NIR sensor, right? So she goes on the pipe. So it's you know, it's the brand is Polispec, right? So 4,000. So you have some other off-shop options here. You have a warning triangle at the back. You can put that on or off. You have a speed sign as well. You can put the 40 kph speed sign. This is a standard feature. Nothing new here. The pipe, the GPS option, and then we have color options. So we've a bunch of Fendt colors. So some of these are, you know, change that one, that one. So there's shades of Fendt green. And then we have these kind of metallic colors, look. So that's a metallic color there. And then on the rims, you can also select metallic colors as well. So that's kind of what it looks like. We're not going to be doing anything crazy. Just no pinks or purples or you know, none of the those kind of, you know, crazy colors or toothpaste tractor colors or anything like that. We want to keep it to, Fendt colors, So yeah, that's kind of the shop options at the moment. There is another option I don't think I showed on this thing. Let me go back here. Oh, I have to take off the header. So there's one other little option here. I'll show you this. So in the real world, my friends, there is a you can take off a panel here for maintenance purposes. So this is a simple IC function. You can take on and off the panel here. Obviously, in the real world, you can connect this entire chopper or cutter frame. It actually it goes outwards for maintenance, so it would swing outwards, if that makes sense. For maintenance purposes, because behind this are the cutter heads. And obviously you want to keep those cutter heads in good condition, and you want to sharpen the blades and everything. So the blades are in behind the cutter head here, So that's kind of where we are at the moment, my friends, with the latest build of the... Let's turn that off there. The latest build of the Fendt Katana here. So this is an upcoming mod from MyGamesteam, mods.mygamesteam.com. This will be publicly available for everybody. No time frame yet in terms of when it will be available. It's still a work in progress. As I said, a lot more work to do in here to add more realism. Going to be adding more decals and that type of thing to the internal engine area here as well. You have your storage boxes based on the real world. Got a def canister in here. You've got a little wheel jack for taking off the the lug nuts on the wheels. You've got a toolbox in here. Look, see that toolbox? So these are based on the real world Fendt Katana as well. So in the real world, all these panels are for maintenance purposes, because obviously you need to have access to the internal engine area to maintain your vehicle or whatever. So that is what we are working on at the moment, and the log is clean on the Katana. I'll just take a quick look. Let's go through the log here. So MyGamesteam is hard at work, I guess, on the next build, I guess, the next additions. We're going to be doing more work on the engine area. So there you go, your log is clean. So see this piece here? See this thing here? That thing? So in the real world, that holds grease, but this mod wasn't made to be viewed internally. So Giants never did anything with this. It's just a kind of a cylinder type shape with no texturing. Look. So MyGamesteam, he's going to be removing this in Blender, and he's going to be building in the proper looking grease holder thingy. Yeah, I'll probably tune into 82 and see what he's up to and stuff. So there you go, my friends. That's kind of an overview of the latest build of the Fendt Katana 850 from MyGamesteam. It's going very well, but there is still a lot to do. So, my friends, I think we are going to leave it there. We have been streaming now for an hour and 24 minutes. So I'm going to say thank you all very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. And God willing, we shall see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.